Alright, what's up, everybody? It's Joe from JLW Games coming at you with another cool live stream. Back in Planet Coaster 2 with a Silver Dollar City recreation. And today, we're going to be back at Wildfire and American Plunge, doing some more work in these areas once again. Yeah, the station has come together quite nicely since the last episode / stream. And yeah, we still have a bunch of work to do in this phase, but we are going to get it done together. So very excited to see where we end up going here and getting more and more done. And then that way, once we get all these done, we can work on powder keg. So I think today we're just going to be doing some minor details and some stuff overall. As my keyboard decides it didn't want to work there. What is my keyboard? What is happening? Why am I going backwards? My keyboard has been really wonky lately. Some of my keys have been getting stuck somehow. But that's alright. We're going to work through it. What does open availability mean to me? It means that... What do you mean open availability? Why is my... What is happening here? My keyboard's going crazy. From an associate's standpoint, like what does that mean? Like a phrase mean? Like what's your open availability? It means basically what days do you have open for your availability to work. It's pretty straightforward. I'm gonna try and unplug my keyboard and plug it back in here. See if that helps. It works, and then sometimes something gets stuck. Kind of weird. Hopefully everything's fine. I'm sure it's fine. I think we're gonna do some a lot of the footer work today. Get a lot of these footers in, and just the area. Go from there, maybe do some more detailing, and maybe we work a little. Maybe we get to the gift shop started. I mean, schedule for me whatever shifts you got, whatever hours. But yeah, I mean, like it just means like if you're open. That's how I am. Change the. For whatever shifts you got, whatever your hours, but once you post the schedule, you should not change it because the associates need to plan around it. I mean, schedules can change. My schedule changes all the time. And since I'm so open, like, it doesn't mess with me around it, honestly. I think the worst idea you could probably have is actually make plans or plan around stuff. Because, like, you never know when stuff's gonna change. And, yeah, my schedule changes all the time. Honestly, after it's posted. So, like, I'm kind of used to it, and it doesn't bother me too much. I'm working... Yesterday was my 8th day of work in a row. I worked 8 days straight. Technically, I was only working 6 days in the week, because my day off was towards the end of the week. If that makes sense. So my... and then my last day off was at the beginning of the other week. So, like, my weeks blended together and ended up being 8 days in a row. And again, my keyboard is acting up. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Screw the kid that said hi to me while on powder keg. I couldn't tell you who that was. On the train, they got stuck on the transfer track, and this was all opening day. I wasn't being specific. It was on opening day, you got stuck on the transfer track. That's because I stopped you out there. If I was in the booth. If that was that opening day that we had that alarm? Yeah, it was opening day, I think. That was a powder keg opening day, and when we'd had to do that evac, the reason why is because I manually stopped you on the launch. for a good reason. So we had an alarm on the panel that one of the final brake pieces didn't raise. Well, we had those on our final brake. We have those brakes that raise up and down. And from Greece. Oh, that's cool. Hey, you're from Greece. That's awesome. Doing great, by the way. But we have a brake piece that didn't raise. And instead of doing an evacuation on the lift, I'd rather do the evacuation on the launch. It's a lot easier for us, and it's a lot easier on the guests. So I looked at the alarm, and I was like, oh, crap. Let me see if I should probably stop this before it launches, because it will launch, rather, even when I have an alarm on the final brake, but it will stop it on the lift, because that's the next block zone, and it won't go past that block zone because there's an issue on that next block zone. But the block zone ahead, it will keep going. So I was like, I'm going to go ahead and stop this on the launch. That way, it's a lot easier of an evacuation. It's either that or evac at the top of the lift, which it wouldn't have happened if it would have launched, and if I did notice till after the launch, I would have stopped it at the bottom of the lift instead of the top of the lift. So maintenance was very thankful that I stopped it on the launch, because it's just honestly, a lot easier, less messy to do an evacuation off the launch. So, explanation of what was going on that day. And it took them we were down for a little bit while they tried to figure out that brake issue. So basically, the brake's lower to let the train continue, and then it had an issue coming back up. Either that or it was delayed coming back up, and it threw an alarm. One of the two. And if that happens, it's obviously not going to advance the next train past the lift. So it would stop it automatically, which is pretty cool. I can't put a face together with you if you did say hi to me, because I do have multiple people say hi to me throughout the day. So sorry if I don't remember that interaction very much. But maybe I do remember. I'm not entirely sure. I think I remember someone saying, like, yeah, JLW Games. Are you JLW Games? Or something like that. I can't remember. I see so many people throughout the day, sometimes it's hard to remember all the faces. Yeah, I didn't know you're on that train. That's cool. I'm sure it was a fun experience for you, being evac'd off of Powder Keg. Getting that little bit of behind the scenes. Oh wait, that's the wrong color. Gosh dang it, I need this color. I'm dumb. There we go. Anyways, we're gonna start on some footings for a lot of our support pieces here. I'm just starting in a random spot, don't know why. Thanks for doing that. You got some friends scared because they thought it was gonna launch right there. Also, that my first time doing it. So I decided, like, it hadn't, when the alarm went off, it was still sliding up. So I was like, once I saw the alarm, I'm like, as soon as the pins go into place on the track, I'm gonna stop it. So I had the plan. I just waited for it, and then rather than the train roll out, I decided to keep it under the cover, so you guys were under the cover and not out in the sunlight. I don't think it was that hot, but I still like to keep people under the cover just in case. It makes it a little bit easier on them. So you guys were under cover, so it doesn't roll out onto the launch platform. And I think it's easier for maintenance if I wait for the train or the track to latch in place too. So I waited for it to latch in place rather than stop it halfway up going up the launch or the launch transfer. But yeah, it was just kind of like a veteran move, I guess you could say. And I teach, and when I train other operators to do that as well. Like, hey, if you don't, it's not a requirement, but if you see this, and I tell them about that, that error code, that alarm, because that is the most common alarm we have in that situation, is the brakes not raising up properly and throwing an alarm. And I was like, hey, if you catch this in time, stop it on the launch if it hasn't already launched. If it's already launched, go ahead and lift stop it so it stops at the bottom of the lift hill, just to whatever makes the evacuation easier. We're gonna have to evac regardless, but like, that's pretty cool. It's just kind of a veteran kind of move, I guess you could say. Like a high IQ move to make the evacuation a little bit easier. for the operators and honestly for the guests too, because the lift is a lot harder to get to and it takes a lot longer, and it's a longer evacuation process too. So doing the launch is a much easier place to evacuate from. But it's not the first time I've ever done that. Had that situation, I've done that, so. The more you know, though, but that's what was going on. Basically, we had an alarm where the brakes weren't raising properly, and yeah, so we had to do an evacuation. Maintenance got it fixed, and we kept going. I wish we had more options for our footers here. I wish we had a rounded base option. Like a rounded concrete footer. I mean, you could probably... I mean, you got this. You could probably make it work if you're smart enough, but... Because I think a lot of footers in Silver Dollar City are actually rounded. They're like the rounded footers. I mean, if you did this, and then, like... See, those are already connected to that, though, so that makes it a little bit harder to do. I mean, you could do it. I know one other way you could do it. You could literally... do this. I think Wildfire has square ones, though. Anyways, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that. But for future reference, we could try and possibly get the round ones on some of the ones that use round footers. Yeah, Wildfire has the square footers, so we're obviously not going to do it here. But if I wanted to make like a rounded footer, we could like make this as the connector piece, and then we could go to the footer piece, say like this, and do something like that. That would be an option as well, which works actually pretty well. So if we need to get to the point where we want to make our footers to be round, we actually have that option if we do it that way. And I wasn't expecting the powder keg theme to be so much clearer from the speaker there once you have the recreation. Yeah, did you hear the theme playing on the brake run? I don't know if you got a chance to hit the brake run and ride it all the way through, but since you did get evac'd, but did you end up riding it and hear the theme playing on the brake run? I think it's kind of cool that they added that in towards the end of last season. I thought it was kind of cool. Just gonna put a cluster of footers here, even though they're kind of all on the spot here. It's fine. Probably not like that in real life, but that's all right. I don't think this will take too long to get all the footers in here either. Gonna have a blast on this powder keg. Shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Light the fuse, no time for dread. Oh, we're gonna have a blast on this powder keg. I honestly can't wait to start work on powder keg and the recreation. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. Mostly because it's such a unique ride, and it's gonna be unique figuring it out, and kind of a challenge to figure it out too. So in a way, it's kind of exciting. But yeah, some exciting stuff. I don't know how long I'm gonna work on this today. I might have some plans later potentially, but I haven't confirmed those yet. So if those plans do end up happening, we'll see what time that is. But I wanted to get some time in today since this is my one day off. I did want to get some time in today to get some work in, since we haven't been working a ton lately. Since I've been working a lot, I've just been getting home, making dinner, and then by then it's just a little late, and then I'm kind of tired at that point, and yeah, I just haven't had a ton of time to work on it yet. But after we get past spring break, I'm gonna start having some more days off, and we'll start getting back into being our same consistent selves that we were before. So we'll be good. It'll be good. It shall be good. Regardless, I appreciate you guys being here, and as we continue this awesome recreation, I can't wait until we get like a much more clearer view of the park and get the park in a more completed area state. And I just love that the way that we're doing it just makes it look so much better, because it just means like we're not going bouncing back and forth between areas. We're staying around the same area, and we're not moving on until we get it complete. So you're seeing more areas completely, pretty much almost completely finished. Yeah, I haven't actually been on American Plunge since all that construction's been going on, so I don't know what it looks like over there. But the footers have been pretty crazy, and they're still placing more and more footers still, so probably won't see any supports and track just yet for at least a little bit, probably until they're done with all the footers. But I can confirm that we do have some footers going along Powder Keg's launch right here. There's some literally right here parallel with the launch of Powder Keg, and you can actually see some of the ride layout. I've actually got this kind of in the wrong spot, but like it actually goes here. You can see a straight line of footers, and then you can see like it goes down into that turn over by Wildfire, which is what I tried to replicate here. And then again, you can see it kind of go back up and over this way. So you can see part of the layout. You can see what looks to be like a drop and turn and go back into the this direction. So you can kind of see a bit of the layout of the new coaster and the new ride, which is very exciting to see it kind of start to take form, and you can actually kind of see a little bit of that layout. I think that's actually kind of cool. Like we can make out some of the layout there. Even if it's only like one little element, like we know one of the elements is going to be some sort of drop and turn right there. At least that's what it's looking like. That's what it's shaping up to look like. But pretty neat. Some of those footers are really high off the ground too, like they're sticking way up high. And they're clearing more area out over by Powder Keg, like over by Powder Keg's second hill. They're still clearing some land over there too, so I don't know if that's going to be part of the coaster, the new ride, or not, but there's no footers over there yet, but like they are clearing more land out over there. So who knows? Who knows if that layout will continue on over in that direction as well. It definitely could. Definitely could. Now, I do usually like to do my footers as I build the support structure, so I don't have to just sit here doing footers for a long time. However, with this, I wanted to make sure all my terrain was set before I got into footers. I wanted to make sure my terrain is where I needed it to be. So that's kind of why we're doing it separately here. Okay, yeah, this won't take too long, honestly. We're already, like, almost done. We just gotta do the lift hill, drop lift hill, and then over by the Cobra roll. And the final turn, I guess, too. But I did leave a lot of the in-game footers here, so actually I don't really need to do any of those, really, either. There's a few spots I leave. Sometimes I leave a few spots of in-game supports. When it's, like, close to the ground, you don't really need to do custom supports, really. Sometimes the in-game supports are just fine in that regard. A lot of the time. Looks like a helix by the whirlpool. Yeah, I haven't gotten a good look at those footers. You can see quite a bit from powder keg. Like, you can see a lot of the site from powder keg's launch and everything. But if you're over at Wildfire, you can definitely see this swooping turn over here, which is pretty cool. It's going to be cool because there's going to be literally so much coaster track in this area of the park. So you're going to have powder keg, Wildfire, and then the new ride. Like, there's going to be so much coaster track around there. I always love this time of year, though, this point of the year, like the speculation and what's it going to be. And yeah, I know a little bit more than maybe some people, but like, I still don't know what model we're looking at. Like, I don't know that 100% sure. I have an idea. Like, I'm pretty positive I know what it could be, but like, there's no like 100% positive until the actual announcement comes out, so. I am aware of, like, throw level. I know what kind of throw level it's going to be. I have that one locked up. Adding on the Valley of the Coasters. Basically, yeah. Kind of have like our own little roller coaster valley over here. And then you got Time Traveler on the other side. Time Traveler and Thunderation, which Thunderation's about to not exist, so. Well, I mean, it'll exist. It'll be standing but not operating. Who knows for how long. I don't think there's any plans to remove Thunderation's track and such, so. Sounds like it's going to be sitting for a while. Kind of like Fire in the Hole. Which is still sitting there. Untouched. We'll get these footers in here. I might work on the observation deck, maybe the photo booth. Might get the actual transfer track in here as well, and we need to continue working on the queue line. And I probably need to stop ignoring American Plunge a little bit. We need to work on American Plunge. I don't think there's a ton to do on American Plunge. We need to make this tunnel and the station and kind of fine tune obviously the queue line and exit and decorate all this path here. So, which I don't think will take too long, but. I'm just like, man, I'm working on a coaster now, so that gets a lot of attention. Plus, coasters this takes probably a lot more effort on Wildfire because Wildfire is a little bit more to it. There's more to work on Wildfire, so that's why I've been focusing a lot on Wildfire. I've been trying to do a little bit of American Plunge here and there, but Wildfire's got the most stuff to work on, so. So, yeah, we got a lot of footers in. Let's go over here by the Cobra roll. And get the Cobra roll. So, kind of finished up here. Which is a custom Cobra roll, by the way. In case y'all never realized it. or weren't there for the that live stream. I made this Cobra roll custom. Like, this is not an in-game Cobra roll. I made it myself. I mostly wanted to have that effect because this side is lower than this side in real life, so I did make that a thing. Because I wanted that accuracy in it a little bit more. But Noah's in the chat also as well. How's it going, man? Good to see ya. I'm sad. To make the transfer track, I'm going to have to close the ride for a minute. So I can edit the track and put the transfer in there. That's alright. But yeah, I really want to detail up the ground here a lot as well. So get like a lot of shrubbery. We already started a little bit, but I really want to get the textures down, make everything look nice. But yeah. Man, I'm very much hungry for another Planet Coaster update. It's been over 3 months. We're actually kind of approaching 4 months, which is unusual. I even had people saying in my last video, there's some people that actually believe that it's dead. Which is crazy. It's not dead, but I think... Man, I just wish they had better communication, because apparently they said in a Discord, someone reminded me, I think it was even a few others that reminded me, that did say that, they did say in a Discord that they are working on stuff right now, which to me is great, but it's not enough. We need to be posting on socials and get the word out there, let everyone know that we still got stuff. We're still working on stuff. Just do a little bit better on communicating with your fan base and such. Because I love Planet Coaster so much. It is my favorite games of all time. It's the most time I have invested in games. And Planet Coaster 2 is a fantastic state. But man, if we get some more updates and improve the game even further, this game could be so good. Like the GOAT, you know? It could be the GOAT. But there's still stuff we need. And I'm telling you, man, they need more shop brands. Planet Coaster 1 has so many shop brands compared to Planet Coaster 2, and it's not even close. And I want to get stuff, I think someone mentioned it in a comment not too long ago, to get Vista points back in. To the game like we had in Planet Coaster 1. I love that feature. It's a small feature that, you know, doesn't change a whole lot, but I love Vista Points because it allows guests, you can kind of control the guests to look and appreciate your stuff. So, like, I thought that was such a cool feature that they had in Planet Coaster 1 that has not made it back into Planet Coaster 2. I loved Vista Viewpoints. Or Vista Points. Like, I thought that was such a cool idea. You can have people take, because it allows your guests start taking pictures of certain things, and it was such a cool feature. I miss it. Because for a ride like Wildfire here, you need Vista Points, because you need your guests to stop and appreciate this ride, for sure. If I could put a Vista viewpoint here, you'd have people like taking pictures and really enjoying the views of Wildfire. Should be cool. Yeah, I did. I didn't respond, but yeah, I did see that. The video you showed me too of like opening news coverage of Thunderation was kind of cool too. It was pretty cool. Is drawing like something you're really passionate about? Because I think you could definitely do well in it. I definitely think it's a hobby that you could do, like, completely thrive in. I don't know why I clicked on that. Hope it's something you keep doing, because you're really good at it. Like I said, I showed some of my coworkers at work, and they were actually really impressed with it as well. So they also really liked it. Okay, I see a few that I missed over here, so let's get those taken care of. I knew there would be some. Forgot about the lift hill on this side. And we might do a little bit more texture painting here, just kind of get the ground looking nice. Been drawing for many years, and I don't plan on stopping. Awesome. Yeah, don't stop, because they're really cool. I really like the creativity and such. I really like them. I'm not a very artistic person. Not really great at art, but I do enjoy painting. I'm pretty okay at painting. I say okay, because I'm like, obviously I'm not that fantastic, but that's something I like to do a little bit, is painting. I haven't done a painting in a while though. Definitely should again do some more again soon. But I do enjoy doing some paintings sometimes. Those are always kind of fun. Specifically oil painting. Why did you move? What are you doing? What's going on? Put some support for these wooden beams here a little bit. Still need to add some detail to those, but I find painting a lot easier than drawing, personally. But that's me. Like, I was kind of surprised, because I was like, man, I'm gonna try doing this painting. Didn't think I was gonna do anything good at it, and I kind of surprised myself. I'm like, that's not half bad. I did pretty good. And I'm actually pretty decent at mountains, apparently. With oil painting, like, I can make some decent mountains. Alright, let me bring up my handy dandy references here, so we can get some nice references, so I can keep this flowing. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and take this path here. Because this needs to kind of be up against here. And we're gonna shrink it down as well by using the edit tool. This would technically be the Trailblazer entrance. I don't know what happened there. Like, why did that path disappear? It's kind of wonky. Get that back. There we go. That shouldn't be in the way of the queue line if we choose to do the queue line. Ozark Mountains. It's not really Ozark Mountains. Ozark Mountains are kind of like hills, kind of. Like big hills. I'm talking like snowy mountains. It's kind of what I usually do. I could do some Ozark Mountains, though. I bet I could make some Ozark Mountains. Not gonna lie, I bet that's something I could probably draw. Or paint, not draw. Alright, let's see if we can get these in here. I don't need the bottom one. Not the bottom one. Just these guys. I accidentally only selected one thing. But honestly, we just need to move that up. I don't know why there would need to be two of them. Alright, and then to finish this off, we're just gonna do it freehand style here. Fill that in. Yeah, it would be cool, wouldn't it? And this is technically where the Trailblazer entrance is, so if we did like a priority pass, now it could be possible to make this work if we put the priority pass entrance. It's gonna be hard because it's gonna be right. It would be right here and kind of, yeah, that would be kind of hard, wouldn't it? The way the platform's made in Planet Coaster. Extends all the way out here. I do have one thing that could work, and we could utilize it to make this look a little functional. So if I put the priority pass connector, like make it connect right here, that could work. So like the priority pass would enter right here, and then I could make it look like this is actually a little, and they could use this extend queue a little bit, so it'd be kind of working around it a little bit. Be kind of weird looking. I don't know if I could really make it work the way it's set up in real life for the Trailblazer entrance. But I want to try and have functional Trailblazers as much as I can here. So we're going to try and make it work. We're just actually going to put I think we'll actually put the real Trailblazer entrance over here as opposed to over there, so. And we'll just make it go into the building here. I know it's kind of weird, but it technically would work. We're just gonna have to mess around a little bit here. To make it functional. But it technically would work if we did it a certain way. Now that I'm thinking about it. Which is quite nice. So we have this section here, which there is a lot of upstairs queue line up there, and then we have the gift shop up and over here. So I do want to start to get a little bit of shaping of the gift shop here, which will put an actual functioning souvenir shop in here. We shall make it functional. Probably should get the floor plan up here just to make sure before we get too far that I'm kind of correct here on how big the gift shop is. We're not exactly lined up perfectly, so we got a little bit of free will here. Just a little bit. The roof is kind of like a big barn style roof. It's kind of interesting. All right, we're gonna take this opportunity. We're gonna place our priority pass entrance. We're gonna place it over here as well. So unfortunately we do have to close the ride to do all this. But before we do that, we're gonna get our transfer track ready to go. So, to do that, we're gonna have to quick delete this for a second. Get another track piece. Snapping over here. And we need to line it up with our storage shed. Make sure we're in a good spot first. Maybe right here would be better. And that's going to be the one. And I like to do like some drive tires, particularly for a storage shed. Go here, and then we're just gonna do a 180 here for the other track piece. There. Delete those. We don't need those. And delete all of this because we don't need that. Go to edit mode, and then we'll put our block zone back in. Our block break back in here. So that will get our visual track pieces in there for the storage shed. And since this is going to be a transfer track, we don't want an optional catwalk on here. Or off. Or track support is what I meant. So we can create the transfer table. Or actually build the transfer table there. And before we open back up, we need to place a priority pass. Here. Okay. These people just acting like they're stuck. They're not even leaving, they're just standing there. Alright, so let's get add-ons, maintenance, operations. Finances, I think it's under, right? Yeah, enabled. This is the hard part. Getting this fixed in here. So we could put it right here. This is my thought process. We could put it right there. I know it looks weird sitting there, but we could put it right there. And we could get a pathway, a queue path for it. Alright. Take that queue path, go to here. Go down to here, which would be connecting it with the path right here. So now that's the entrance. And then we could go in here, we can get to the edit tool. That's separated? What did it do there? I don't know why I did that. We need to keep an eye on that. So when I do this... I don't know why it's separating it there. Why is it separating the path when I do that? That makes no sense. Why are you separated here? Hello? Okay. Well, that connected them, so that's fine. That will work. And remember, we can do invisible path. I'm gonna do invisible path here, so don't worry about that. We'll get that in there. So we're gonna make all this invisible so you can't see the curbs and all that such. All that stuff. Alright, let's get into the edit tool here, and we're gonna shrink this down to fit, try and fit in our spot here like that. That's beautiful. Same with over here. With the entrance, we're gonna try and shrink this down as much as we can. It's gonna be the smallest possible we can do right there. Okay. Yeah, that's about as much as we can do there. That'll be okay, though. So we literally could just edit this fence here and push it back just ever so slightly, so that way they don't clip into it as much. That, like, that's no problem. We can do that. Remember, you won't be able to see this when I'm done. I just need the visual representation right now of where these paths are. And then, of course, the null paths don't work with this at the moment. These guys still here? No, they did finally get out. Okay. Alright, so now that that's all functional, we have a priority pass in there now. So that's nice. So now we have a functioning priority pass in here. Do I have an functional information booth anywhere yet? I want to say I do. I do. So they can purchase priority pads. Or priority passes. Pads? So, I know. So now that they'll be able to use this, as awkward as it is, we're gonna make it work somewhat. hate this being right here, though. So I'm gonna cover it up. Little makeshift here. Like, this isn't actually here in real life, but we're gonna do it just because I hate that. And you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna put a door on here, even though it doesn't exist. This is gonna be our priority pass door, though. If I can find one. So the guests are gonna come through this door. Or at least visually, it's gonna look like they're gonna come through that door. I'm gonna put one on the other side also as well. Even though this isn't real in there in real life, I want to blend the functionality aspect with everything still, so that way stuff still is functional, but also looks good and, you know, all that jazz. Because again, I know that this doesn't exist in real life like this, that way I'm putting it together. But I still want stuff to be functional as much as possible, and if I have to bend the accuracy a little bit to get that functionality, I'm okay with that. As long as it still looks like it could be real, you know? So we're gonna put a door there. A door here. Yes, they're gonna go clip through the door, but that's a sacrifice I'm taking here. In a sense. Basically, I'm gonna sacrifice that weirdness, but that's okay. It allows me to kind of utilize this extra queue that we're not using at the moment. So, in a sense, it kind of works. Alright, probably can go ahead and open this back up. I think. Let me make sure that it's running properly with the block zones. I think it's fine. Just to make sure I didn't mess up on this block piece again. I think we should be good, though. We have everything we need before we shouldn't have to close the ride ever again. Why is my keyboard not working? What the heck is happening? Yeah, we should be fine on that. I'll probably make it more realistic in the end, though, and have a waiting period to where it won't dispatch until the other one hits the brake run. As realistically speaking, it would do it that it would have to be that way. All right, get that back open. Guess can start riding it again. Ring, 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 ring. Alright, we're gonna go edit this building because we need to start working on this. Okay, that will line up, which it does. Okay. And this is where the extra queue line, I believe, is for the upstairs queue. Would be up here. Squeak, 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 squeak. should blend us over into the gift shop area, which I'm gonna add a little bit extra path here. For that. Script. Right, and then that will be the Wildfire gift shop right there. Yeah, that's gonna start coming together. Pretty good. If we do it right. Alright, maybe I can start fine detailing the photo lab here. Gonna be able to do this, or do we need to do something, or use the non-gridded piece is my question. Squeak. Squeaking. Such a weird shape, but we'll make it work. The photography lab. Make sure all this moves together. Okay, we're not gonna move that. Accidentally closed that in doing that in the process. Get back in there. Get back to work. Wonder how laggy the game would get after 6.5 million Christmas lights. I mean, we'll find out. I do plan on making, if I do finish, no, when I finish, there's no if. When I finish, I do plan on, why isn't the typing working? I do plan on doing a Christmas version and a pumpkin version as well. I really want to do that. I think that'd just be so cool. Oh gosh, there's these guys in here. What is my keyboard doing? What is happening? I don't know why that keeps happening. That's why I corrected myself. I didn't say if, I said when we finish. I corrected it. Someone say pumpkins? I did. Alright, where's the... we need the non-grid pieces real quick. This is such an interesting building. Gosh. Vegan. Viva la vegan. Vegan. Alright, now we have to get some crates up here. If my freaking keyboard will actually type, jeez. I don't know what's going on with it. It's weird. Alright, now we get the sign up of the photography lab. Or a little bit more green in there. Not what I wanted you to do. That the shortest piece? It is. Because of course it is. And the final thing to do here is get the actual words on there. Why did I keep the Z? Why is my keyboard doing this? Bruh. Maybe there's something stuck. It keeps doing extra. Photography lab. Why do you sound like you're trying to be Scooby-Doo there? What's up with that? My cat wants out. You want out? Bum, bum. All right, not too shabby. You do Shaggy's voice. I feel like Shaggy's voice isn't the hardest thing to do, but it's still impressive. Ah. Oinks, oinks. Those live action Scooby-Doo movies were wild, though. I remember watching those as a kid. Early 2000s. Eh. Oh, why do you have to do that? Alright, that's looking pretty good. I'm probably gonna have to expand this out. Probably. I'm gonna have to expand this out though, so it's like not weird, awkwardly just hanging off the observation deck. At least expand it to there. Which is fine because we technically need more over there also, so that is okay. We do be do. The first movie on VHS. I can't remember if I had it on VHS. I know I for sure have it on DVD, though. 100% sure I have it on DVD. First two, anyways. Or both of them. 1 and 2. I love those movies as a kid, though, man. They were fun. Lots of fun. To do more supports on those, but oh yeah, we're people using this priority and they are. Kind of looks a little weird, but my hope is that it kind of blends together. Still, you know, hopefully it does. Hopefully we can get it to still kind of blend in a way that is fine. Do need to, I'm gonna slowly just try and close some stuff up. So when you look up here, that there's no weird things going on here. Everything kind of looks a little natural. There's no like awkward holes or anything like that. Alright. Station's still looking pretty good. Let's take a look at the building. Oh yeah, there's those details down there too. Shot of that anywhere. video. You can see all that starting to come together, which is pretty cool, I think. Pretty cool. We still need to figure out how we're gonna make this. We still gotta make this. Shouldn't be too difficult. We just gotta make a platform that goes from here to here. That's where I get down onto the lift hill, like evacuations and such. And then there's a lot of, like, a big platform. There's a platform underneath here with the motor and everything, so maintenance has access to that. And then we're gonna need a rock wall here. Basically this. That will kind of go with this path. Go ahead and make it double-sided, actually. Might as well make it into a scenery group. Gonna be a fence right there. But yeah, we need to start decorating all of this, basically. And get that fence in there. There's a little picket fence. Like a red fence here. If my keyboard doesn't put 1,000 E's. I don't know why it's doing that. I think this one would be the best one. Or we can create... What is happening? Maybe if we turned it upside down. Those parts and made it all red. Those might look good. Honestly, yeah. Made it all the same color. Those up just a little bit more. And there's like some new big beams that are going over here. I don't know if it's going to be kind of like the entryway for the new ride or what, but there's like some... They just put them up not long ago. Why is my keyboard not working? It's a brand new keyboard. That actually upsets me a lot. This keyboard doesn't want to work. Alright, let's get this terrain kind of smoothed away. Yeah, seasonal allergies. I think I got a little bit of allergies going on too, honestly. I never really had to worry about allergies before, but lately I feel like I have. Kind of sucked, actually. what do we got? Terrain style. Let's try conforming and see what happens. Alright. As long as it's somewhat smooth. Not to be beautifully perfect, but so we can get this squared back away. It's usually an easy solution if you need it to get square back. Once again, my WP just refuses to do anything. It's weird. I don't know why it's doing that. It's so big. Bum 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 ba dum ba na na. Alright. And we got a big old construction fence that's gonna go back over here so you can't see what the heck's going on. Because you're not allowed. And we'll have a lot of exterior kind of work to do here too. I'm not sure what to do with this area here, if I should just blend it together or what my play is here, because I don't have a ton of reference to what this kind of looks like here in this spot. Let's take a look at the floor plan, because it does have the early construction going on here, so you can kind of see what you need to do. Okay. Alright, so we look at the map. Here we can see where American Plunge is. Maybe. You can see the whole construction site here. Has Wildfire's stuff. American Plunge's drop. There's the lift. Still quite a bit of trees there now. All these trees are pretty much gone now. There's still quite a few trees here on this, making it a little bit difficult to see. You can see the turnaround right here a little bit, but that's about it. A little whirlpool spot, and then it goes back over here, and it goes into the lift hill. It's just kind of hard to see. Now I know that's a tunnel there, and I've seen it while riding like Powder Keg and Wildfire and such, I've seen what it looks like a little bit right there, so I would have to go a little bit based off of memory. But so, but I'm mostly trying to figure out how this all is with the terrain, because this is obviously all underground. Right here, and then we got the whirlpool right there. We're gonna have to craft out that tunnel in there kind of manually, which we'll have to do. It'll be a little bit of a pain, but alright, what else are we gonna be able to do? So gotta make this blend in a little bit. Alright, let me see if I can find... Go back to the American Plunge POV that was taken. There's a recent one that's not like super old. It was last season, or towards the end of last season. 8 months ago, that's the one that I think I was looking at. So we had already had a lot of stuff going on there. I want to see what it looks like when we first get into the tunnel real quick. See what I can see here. You can't see anything. That's what you can see. Yeah, it used to look a lot different than what it does now. They just made a huge tunnel there now. And then when it pops out of the tunnel, and I'm sure this actually probably looks a lot different now these days too. I think all this has been cleared looking at it right now. And shortly after you go into another tunnel which leads you into the lift, which is what we were doing over here. So it's really hard to see. You don't really see much happening over here. I just know we gotta make the whirlpool area there. And it's basically a lot of terrain kind of just, in a way, just kind of surrounding it. So we're just gonna build a lot of terrain around this, I think. Make it go around. If I can get my keys on my keyboard to actually do keyboard things, that would be nice. Basically, I want to just start getting this formed a little bit, since it is kind of a wacky terrain spot, you know. My W key just, and then when I get my W key working, it just goes and does what it wants. I don't think we're gonna go as harsh with the terrain right there. I'm just gonna blend these with the rocks that we have right here. make the walkway coming down here. Basically, I want to get the terrain set. We'll fix the tunnel at some point and go from there. Make a short with 30 seconds of powder keg music, having it loop perfectly so I can listen to it constantly. Maybe when we work on powder keg, we'll make a short with that. Maybe, just maybe. This is starting to look a little bit cleaner over here now. Just a little bit. We're gonna have a blast on this powder keg, shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Light that fuse, no time for dread. We're gonna have a blast on this powder keg. I'm still gonna try and see if they can find the full song somewhere. I really want the full song. Stop. We're gonna have a blast on this powder keg, shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Light that fuse, no time for dread. Oh, we're gonna have a blast on this powder keg. I still remember in 2005, I remember that's the only song that played in the queue. Like, it just played on loop over and over and over. And they no longer play it anymore. But we did find it, and now we play it on the break run, so there's that at least. At least we brought it back in some capacity. It's only on the break run and it's not the full song, so I want the full song. Ba-da-da-dum-bum. Ba-da-da-dum-bum. why. I kind of want to go out. I have no financial reason, or no financially I can't do this, but for some reason I want to go out to dinner tonight. I don't know why I got that feeling going on right now, but I want to go out to dinner. I don't know why I have the urge to go out to dinner tonight, but... No, so I don't believe that song is copyrighted in any shape or form. I haven't gotten flagged for it yet, so... It's one of those songs that barely even exists, so... Alright, you can't say I didn't work a little bit on the station for American Plunge today. We officially did a little bit. Gonna have a blast on this powder keg. Guess what? Because I'm shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. I'm gonna light that fuse because there's no time for dread. We're gonna have a blast on this powder keg. Alright, I got a reference somewhere here. This, I think. Maybe I don't. Yeah, a little bit. I can see it. Of this rock wall that is over here that I didn't think was over here. That I thought was over here initially, and then I was like, oh wait, no, there's not. And then I looked and I was like, yes, yes it is. Yes, it went back and forth like that. Sorry, I just thunked into my... microphone there. Nice day, maybe we should go outside? Yeah, let's go outside. I'm not gonna lie, I probably should go out and do something. Would be a good day for that. Try and push this out to the rock wall. Oh, did I miss? I missed some footers. Somehow. Not surprising. I knew I would. I knew I would somehow. There we go. Alright, we're gonna go do some Terra painting here. Some nice painting. I like painting. Yeah, we're gonna blend in some soil in here along. So it's not just all green, it is kind of like a good amount of different colors kind of going in here. So we'll also get in a little bit of dry grass. Do the intensity down a little bit. That way we're just kind of blending in and it doesn't completely overtake what we just did, but it kind of just blends in everything together. A little bit nicer in a way. Run some long patch, a few patches of long grass in here. Alright, we're gonna get the scenery brush. A bit of action here. Get some extra trees in here. Never mind, those are all floating. Hopefully we can make this look somewhat like the Ozark Mountains as best as we can. And Wildfire is starting to look like Wildfire. Alright, and then I'm very precise with my... I mean, I could use a scenery brush in these areas, but I'm very precise when it comes to like my placement of stuff, so... I do like to go here and individually place a lot of my items. But for like when I am just filling in a lot of empty space and stuff, that's when I find the scenery brush to be very nice, so. But for like in the perimeter here, I'm gonna place down the stuff that. So I just want there to kind of look a little bit more grassy in here, more bushes, and just overall just have plenty of foliage and scenery placed around so it looks nice. Just cover a lot of ground here. So it doesn't look too boring. Ah, but that's starting to look quite nice. But I appreciate you guys checking us out today. Hope you guys have been enjoying the series of Silver Dollar City. And I think it's really starting to blend together quite nicely over here. Things are looking really nice and great. So, seems to be every time I use this, the W key doesn't want to work right away. It takes a minute. Yeah, it's doing it every time I rotate. That's interesting. Eventually, the actual park will look good. Yeah, with the trees and everything. Alright, we should definitely give it a ride now with all this extra stuff we've added. See how it's looking. That view looks pretty decent. Oh, you're getting snow in Vermont. Well, greetings. I'm over in Missouri, so. Pretty nice day today, so. Very nice. She's a fan. Not too shabby. I really like how the stations turned out. Looks pretty cool in here. Oh yeah, it got hot here very fast. One second, I gotta get you outside that I need to go probably pick up that I don't want out there, so I'll be right back. Keep the keep the vibes playing for you so you guys can watch it. Train's coming out. Alright, we're back. Regret package, and also we had to also made or heated up some cinnamon rolls. My wife made some cinnamon rolls, and they are amazing, by the way. Oh god. I love cinnamon rolls. Anyways, had to take a break from my Planko Park, fair enough. Playing Parkitect for the first time. It's actually really good. Yeah, Parkitect's a really good really good game too. I would say you can't really compare it with Planet Coaster. It's kind of its own different style. It's kind of more of a maybe like a new generation version of like the original RCT games, like RCT 1 and 2. It's kind of like a new version of those. Kind of. Yeah, it stands on its own pretty well. I don't know what's going on with my keyboard. It's not working. Like, why does it just have periods of time where it's not doing anything? It's strange. Wildfire is coming together quite nicely. What is happening? I'm actually really annoyed because I just got this keyboard not long ago, and I really like it, and now it's acting up. I had my last one for like well over 10 years before it started acting up. I finally had to get a new one. So, yeah, it's very crappy when your keyboard's not working. I'm literally holding down a key right now and we're not moving. Now we are. Maybe I need to clean them? I don't know. Take the keycaps off and clean under there, but it's not dirty. Unless something got in there that's affecting it. I'm not even touching my keyboard right now. It's moving. Not even touching it. Like, what? Why are we moving? I'm not even touching my keyboard. What is happening here? It's literally not stopping at all either. Until I push the key. That is so weird. I don't understand what would cause something like this. Because it's either working or it's not working at all. Like, I'm holding down the key, not doing anything right now. And now it's stuck. It's almost as if it has a delay. And then it starts holding. I don't know. What is happening here? It's like constantly messed up too. Like I can't navigate. Hold on. I'm gonna try and switch over to the Bluetooth version of it. Like I have it plugged in now, but it has a Bluetooth option or a wireless option. Let's try the wireless option and see if that does any different. I don't think it would make a difference. We're wireless now. It's working. That doesn't make sense. So now it's working. I feel like a wired connection would... Maybe it's the cable? Maybe there's a loose wire and something loose in the cable. Maybe. Yeah, because now it's... So far, So far it's working. I've already unplugged it, plugged it back in. I did try that already. But now that I switched to wireless mode, it's working. That's weird. I'm not going to question it as long as it's working. We'll just leave it wireless. It's fully charged, so. Interesting. It's working flawlessly right now. This is so cool though. Seeing this come together though. I actually have the actual sounds too. Are in the queue line. Oh, we gotta fix that fighting texture. That is too much. Like having too much of a party right there. I do need to get the audio of the train going in to the dock though. I gotta get that audio in there. I feel like I just gotta. So Wildfire is looking quite snazzy. Saw the first honeybee of the season. I don't know, I'm pretty proud of how this has turned out so far. Wildfire anyways. See how Powder Keg's going over here. Just for you, Noah. We're gonna have a blast on this powder keg. I don't know why I find myself singing this like throughout the day at powder when I'm working at Powder Keg. I've even like before dispatching trains in the op booth, I've been starting to say like usually you say arms down, head back, have a blast. I've been adding a little bit onto it. Keep your arms down, your head back, and let's have a blast on this powder keg. I find myself singing it sometimes too. And we're gonna have a blast on this powder keg. A little bit of the song gets in there sometimes. We're gonna have a blast on this powder keg. Shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Light that fuse, no time for dread. Or we're gonna have a blast on this powder keg. I love it when like coasters and parks have like their own original themes and stuff. It's so cool. But yeah, I can't wait to get to the next phase. I'm enjoying this one, don't get me wrong. I'm enjoying working on Wildfire and it's coming together beautifully. But something about Powder Keg gets me excited. Getting into Powder Keg is getting me a little excited. Like, I don't know why. Just figuring out how we're gonna get it to work and all that, because it's a very complex ride. We're gonna have a blast on this powder keg. Shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Light that fuse, no time for dread. Oh, we're gonna have a blast on this powder keg. Thought about making a visual, just a visual of the trim brakes that are on the ride over here. How are we looking from the guest point of view without being crouched? I do have the element kind of emerging from the trees in the background. Vertical loop, nice and prominent. Cobra rolls right up front here. Looks so cool. I think we did a pretty good job on it overall. Hearing those screams. I should probably fix the dispatch intervals at some point. I will, but... Dun 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 dun. Can't wait till we get all this enclosed though. That would be pretty cool. Be pretty sick. Pretty sweet. Or scarfing down a film roll right now. Whee! Do the Ozarks till the rails run. And then right about here, you'd be going ding ding ding. I probably should adjust the speeds as it comes into the station, because it's actually in reality a little bit slower coming into the station. So, in real life. Din 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 din. I love getting these little visual shots though. It's so fun. And of course we'll have the gift shop right here. Everything else with it. What's going on over on that other side of that fence? Something cool, I bet. Besides powder keg launching. Bet I can't have it slightly roll back onto the chain dog. Or the launch, the catch car. That'd be kind of cool if it could. I finally get this done at some point, not if, when, I hope people go into it like completely shocked, like, oh, this is so cool, you know? Like, that's so amazing. That's my hopes, is that it just becomes really popular. A lot of people download it. That it reminds them, like, they go in here and they're like, you know what, that's pretty cool, that's pretty accurate. So I gotta turn those wheels off. Just something I can be proud of. And honestly, I'm pretty proud of this so far. Silver Dollar City. Yeah, the difficult thing with Sword Art City, though, is you can see already, not even like a quarter of the way down the park, and you see how many buildings there are in this park. So many buildings everywhere. Restaurants, shops, facilities, like there's, through the entire park, there's lots of buildings everywhere. Alright. Where we at here? Whoa. Whoa, now. Hold on. Hold up. Hold up, people. Just wait a gosh darn minute. Apparently, I've been live for over 2 hours. What the heck? What the heck is time, man? Yeah. We're at 2 hours and 17 minutes. I kind of want to do another stream, though. I know some of you probably won't care, but I do want to play some TCG Card Shop Simulator. A new update just came out for it, and I haven't played it in a little bit, so I do kind of want to check it out. Yeah, I think once we get past phase 5 with Powder Keg, it's gonna look so cool with having Wildfire, Powder Keg done, American Plunge, like all this side of the park done. It's gonna look so cool. And then we'll obviously be getting into Rivertown and Wilson's Farm and get into that. So shortly after, we'll be doing Outlaw Run. So we're doing a lot of big hitters right away. So, but I think there's something new and or something exciting as we get throughout the park. I think I got through I don't want to say worst part, but like the most tedious and hard part, and that's the entrance, square, and Hill Street, because we're not working on any rides. From this point out, we're going to be working on a lot of pretty much just ride areas at this point. So we're going to be working on rides at all times, because we got Wildfire, Powder Kegs next. We'll get this all done, this entire side of the park done, and then after that, we're going to continue this way, go over the train, where the train tracks would be. So after Powder Keg, phase 6 is going to be Crossroads Pizza and River Blast. I'm not really looking too much forward to that one a whole lot. I still don't know how I'm going to make River Blast. Maybe I can see if anyone else has made some river battles in Planet Coaster 2 and what they used to make it, because I don't really have any idea of what I would use. Do you guys have any options of what would be good for a river battle? Like, what ride system would be best? Trying to see if there's any tracked rides that... Because we can add scenery pieces onto this stuff. Like, that's not a big issue. If I can find something that has them sitting back-to-back, side-to-side or something, that would be ideal. I don't know if there's any coasters that would be useful that we could put underwater to make it look like boats. Like, that's always another option as well. Like any of the water coasters, I don't know if that would be a good option. I'm not sure. It's kind of a work in progress of how I'm going to do it, and I need to start thinking about it now, because we're going to be there with before I know it, you know? I mean, I could just use the boat ride, like the steamboat, and then just try and decorate it to look like a River Blast vehicle. And then I could add like things to make it look like water shooting off of it, so it looks like the water guns maybe. That's really the only option I'm seeing right now. The only bad part of this is you do need 2 stations, because it's considered a transport ride, so it requires you to have 2 stations, which is kind of dumb. Now, another option would be to grab basically any flat ride or tracked ride, sink it underground, make the layout, and just attach scenery pieces above to make it look like the boat. That way you're kind of building the boat from scratch. Only Tom and Hook were here to help. That could be another option, is just sinking everything underground. And then the ride, I can make it visually look like the ride going around by attaching scenery pieces above, making my own little water channels and such. That's one option. The only thing is I don't know how functional that would be. I don't know if we can make the ride actually be real, because you wouldn't see the guests on the ride. So I don't know if it'd be worth it to even make functional, like an actual rideable ride. Just make it like a visual thing. I don't know, what do you guys think? I mean, I could make it functional, but the guests on the ride wouldn't look like they're on the ride. But I guess we could try and put some characters on the boats to make it look like people are riding. And then just people that are riding are underground, not actually, visible, I don't know. I'm going to be honest, it's probably the best option is just to create the ride vehicles out of scenery objects and then just sink something underground and have it take the right path. I think that's what I'm leaning towards for River Blast. Because it could, at the start of when people start to look at it, they'd maybe go like, I think people would look at it and go, man, that's not even in the game. How did he put that in the game? You know, when they first see it, that's what I want them to think. I want people to look at it and go, that's not even in the game. I think that'd be kind of cool. I think that's going to be my go-to for River Blast. Is just to make the boats and then just sink the track ride underneath. But visually it'll look great. And look real. I think that's going to be what we're going to go to for that. Anyways, yeah, we're going to do River Blast after this. After Powder Keg. River Blast is kind of next on the horizon there. Because we'll work our way this way. River Blast is right here. We'll make Crossroads Pizza. I'll probably make the theater here as well. Like just all of this right here before going into Wilson's Farm. So we'll do that. Maybe even do the corkscrew path that leads up into Midtown and connect some of that and maybe work a little bit on Midtown. Potentially. And then that'll be Phase 6. Phase 7 is going to be Wilson's Farm for sure. We'll knock out Wilson's Farm because it's one of the dead-end areas, and then we'll continue on the main path. So we'll do Giant Swing and Outlaw Run in Phase 7. So that'll be exciting because after we get Phase 7 done, we'll have Wildfire, Powder Keg, and Outlaw Run all done, which will be just be nice to see all those coasters next to each other and done. I don't think Wilson Farm will take too long. Obviously, I'm going to take some time on Outlaw Run. Probably do a lot of custom wide supports like I did in the original. In the first one I did. Yeah, people will shoot at you. I've had to do ride-throughs as 210. Like they call because they're overdue for a ride-through and they need me to go down there to do a ride-through. They even tell the guests not to shoot at me, but they do it anyways. Like while I'm on the ride. Yeah, and then Phase 8 is going to be Mystic River Falls. And Clarabelle's right here. And basically all of Rivertown. That'll be Phase 8. That one's going to be a pretty big one. You got the theater, you got Clarabelle's, and you've got the smokehouse. And of course, Mystic River Falls is going to be a little bit of a pain as well. Now, I thought about using potentially there was the person that did the recreation of this area already. Maybe using some of those assets and give them credit for it, potentially, because they did a really good job on that. Like Silver. So that'll be Phase 8. Trying to remember all my phases. Phase 9 is going to be Fire District. With Fire in the Hole, all this. Phase 9. Phase 10, after Fire District, honestly will probably just be like a filler phase where we just do all this pathway leading into Grand Expo. So like just the theater here, this building, and the crossing, and then the Frisco Barn. And then maybe start on Echo Hollow a little bit. Might do Echo Hollow right there, actually, in that phase, since there's not a whole lot there. Might as well include Echo Hollow. That would be that phase, so 7, 8, 9, that'd be Phase 10. And Phase 11 would be Expo, Grand Exposition. That's going to be a whole phase in itself, and the plaza. We'll include the plaza in that as well. Plaza will be easy. There's no detail in that, much details to do in that area, so. And then phase 12 will probably be like Flooded Mine, Valley Road, Train Depot. And then Time Traveler, Thunderation, and that will connect us back to the beginning. So that is the master plan of this recreation. And we'll go back, fine-tune anything. Go from there. But yeah. Some phases will take longer than others. Some phases will be really short. Again, I don't think this phase will take us too long. We've already got a good portion of it done. Wildfire is coming along quite greatly. And all we have left, really, is to finish up the queue, the gift shop, just some fine details here and there. We need to work on the supports a little bit on the bridge, the observation deck. Few areas here and there. We do need to make the transfer track still. So that's all we have left of Wildfire, really. And then just decorate this path, get all this. And the exterior of the entrance needs to be done as well. Do I think Maverick's restraints are an issue? I personally don't. But I see a lot of people who say it really makes the ride worse. I think the restraints are fine on Maverick. I only rode with the soft restraints, like the collars, when they were soft. I remember apparently when it first opened, they had the hard collars, and now it's the soft collars, so. And then all the trees, yeah, true. We do have a lot of trees already placed over here, so I wanted to give that little foresty vibe over here. And I think the view from the top is looking pretty nice when you're on the ride. We don't really get to see the lake as much as I would like, but it still has a pretty good view. Can only do so much with that. Bum. Then we still need to do all the stuff for American Plunge. A lot of stuff for American Plunge. Obviously the dock here, low dock, and we need to make the exit and the extended queue line still. And then, of course, the whirlpool scene area here. I might redo this turn a little bit. The turn's a little bit too sharp for my liking. But redo that a little bit. And I know this tunnel is a little bit decorated exterior-wise. We'll keep working on these custom supports. I just kind of thrown those together. We're gonna do better. We still need to make the crown up here as well, at the top of the lift. Decorate all this path here. Connect these two paths down here. Decorate the back of this building a little bit. And yeah, that'll be phase 4. We'll be done with that at that point, so. Slowly but surely, we're getting there. I think we got a nice little pace going, though. For sure got a nice little pace going. This ride is inaccessible. I'm excited to get to Fire in the Hole, though.
The ball knobbers have set the whole town ablaze. Go!
We did make a version in Planet Coaster 1 and pretty much finished it, too. So I'm excited to do it again. Again.
I'm gonna tan your hide. Chicken! Waggles have been chicken! Wiley, drop that dynamite or I'll have to shoot. Go ahead, Marshall. You couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. Ow! Get after those bolt knobbers and stop that fire.
Red Flanders? Get back here and put on your pants.
I can't, Sadie. I ain't got no pants no more. The dang ball knobbers stole 'em.
Stole them? What in the city hell would they want with your pants?
So I think the new coaster will be the tallest in the park. I already know the answer to that, so I'm not gonna really... I can't speculate. But I'm not gonna reveal it, if that makes sense.
Hurry! The ball knobbers are gonna blow up the bridge!
Get that grate over here.
Don't mess up my new pants, you ornery
Pack
fool.
them bundles under the dresser.
Can't you even tie a damn
Hurry.
What's the matter, Bugs? You chicken?
Watch out, you dang fool. You're gonna fall. Now look at what you done. Uh-oh, I think I'm stuck. I can't reach.
I hope the new ride has onboard audio, though.
Bridge ain't gonna hold. Bye-bye.
Bugs and Patches, we foiled your plot, and now we're using your dynamite to blow up the water tower and...
Wildfire.
Don't throw that switch. A train's coming that way.
Tower's gonna blow. Fire in the hole! Thank you, heroes. We couldn't have caught those good-for-nothing ball knobbers without you. Give yourselves a big old pat on the back. You deserve it. And it'll also put out any stray sparks. So
long. I fell into a ring of fire. But yeah, so we got the music that plays in the queue line for Fire in the Hole. It just switched songs. It just changed songs. See, I thought for one update they had all that fixed. Where the custom audio doesn't get off when you zoom out and then zoom back in. But it's been doing it again, so I don't know.
We're gonna have a blast on this powder keg, shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Like that fuse, no time for dread. Oh, we're gonna have a blast on this powder keg. This powder keg. We're gonna have a blast on this powder keg, shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Like that fuse, no time for dread.
We're gonna have a blast on this powder keg, shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Light that fuse, no time for dread. Or we're gonna have a blast on this powder keg. Keg. Yeah, I know Theme Park Tycoon 2. I've seen some stuff about that game. But cool, you've been making a fire in the hole in there. I'd like to check it out. Hey, let me out of here! We're gonna have a blast on this powder keg, shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Light that fuse, no time for dread. We're gonna have a blast on this powder keg. This powder keg. Oh, they're stacking. Din 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 din. Woohoo! He's so cool to watch. I should recreate some of the drone shots they got. They did that one a few times. We're gonna have a blast down this powder keg, shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Light the fuse, no time for dread. We're gonna have a blast down this powder keg. Alright. Ooh, alright. Or we should do a save. We're gonna have a blast on this powder keg, shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Light the fuse, no time for dread. Or we're gonna have a blast on this powder keg. This powder keg. Ah. Go ahead and update it. Authorize my account information. Why am I disconnected? What you mean? Hello? Guess I can't do that right now. Disconnected. Steam. Alright. Oh, it's back. It's fine now. Oh, never mind. It was on there, and then it did. Why can't you authorize my stuff? What are you talking about? Yeah, they're back. Huh. Oh. I'm gonna head off here though, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe. For amazing content like this. More amazing content like this. If you're not subscribed already. Do a little bit more later on, so. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks, and goodbye.